Smith defeated one of the Bears' UAA rivals, Emory. For the Herons, as they make their 6th appearance in the national championship match, take a look at how they've gotten out to Las Vegas for the winningest coach in D3 soccer history in Allison Wilbur. Had some tough games throughout the tournament. The one game that they won by multiple goals before arriving on championship weekend avenged a regular season loss against Washington and Lee. Monica able to flip the switch in the second half against Emory on Friday.
The second half completely belonged to the Herons. They came out of the locker room all fired up, had a set play, and also had a big play by Anna Nichols in order to score their 2 goals. Nell Dwyer, one of their first years, scored. Anna Nichols had her first goal of the season. William Smith had 7 second half corners. It was a tremendous effort to clinch their ticket to the final game.
Meanwhile, for WashU, the Bears unbeaten at 22-0-2. They needed late goals against both Colby and Chicago the sectional weekend out in St. Louis. But boy, were they impressive against a team that ended the regular season number 2 in the country in Christopher Newport.
Late goals. They scored pretty quickly into the second half, and they scored in rapid succession 3 times. Kate Martin got on the scoreboard first, and then freshman phenom Olivia Clemens got her 21st of the season, and they were not done. Cammie Colpitz sealed the deal with her goal. 3 goals within the span of about 10 minutes for the Bears.
Second straight and 5th overall appearance in the national championship game for Jim Conlon's team. Here are the lineups. First for William Smith, no changes. Kirsten Nelson maybe tested quite a bit in goal today, and lots of veteran presences along with the freshman that Monica mentioned in Nell Dwyer. 3 career goals. They've all been match winners in this NCAA tournament. WashU not making any changes as well. As good as Olivia Clemens has been this season, she will continue to come off the bench, but you do have some All-Americans in there. The goalkeeper, Sydney Cotter, along with Grace Ehlert and Allie Hackett, all on the all-tournament team last season. The Bears lost 1-0 to Cal Lutheran in the championship game. William Smith's most recent appearance coming in 2019 when the Herons lost to Messiah down in Greensboro. Second national title up for grabs for WashU. 3rd national championship for the Herons. Stage is set for what should be a fantastic game of soccer this afternoon.
It absolutely should be, and we've already spoken to the depth of WashU as we talked about. All 3 of those freshman goal scorers come off the bench for the Bears. Jeremy, you mentioned some of the tremendous options they have. Of course, they also have Sophie Viskovich. They have Ella Colino. Grace Ehlert has been tremendous. Meryl McKenna. The difficulty, if you are playing the Bears, you can't just key in on one player. They have so many weapons out on the field. Meanwhile, I think the big key for William Smith today, they will tell you that the second half was their half. The first half they felt like belonged to Emory. They know it's going to have to be a full 90-minute effort against WashU because WashU is so dangerous offensively.
William Smith in the visiting green jerseys, WashU in white, as the Herons look to put some pressure on the Bears' defense early on. As impressive as those 3 goals were, the WashU defense phenomenal, shutting down Hannah Heaton, the very prolific playmaker for CNU, and the entire captain's offense, and they defend that sequence pretty well.
And Allie Hackett has already gotten involved. She was the player that knocked the ball out of bounds to stop the big run up the field for William Smith. But this is a great sign for the Herons so far. Getting off on the attacking foot. A free kick coming up here. Ruth Hodling over the ball. Had an assist on that goal scored by Nell Dwyer. She is such a tremendous offensive force, and frankly, the Herons going to need a huge game today from the junior.
4th team All-American. That assist was the 24th of her career, and that ball just a little too tall for the attacking options, including Dwyer, who's the one who headed in Hodling's cross early in the second half on Friday.
Nell Dwyer is such a good option on these set pieces. They're going to look for her every opportunity that they get. Marjorie Plants, also a very good option. She was in the mix as well. Really nice ball served up by Hodelang, and they're going to need, as we said, a lot more of that attacking mindset, her ability to facilitate, to get others involved, to create for herself. 12 assists on the season so far for Hodelang, so you can understand what she can do in terms of generating for the Herons offense.
Throwing for the Bears near midfield, by the way, our referee for this national championship game, Leela Ramash, our ARs, Audra Fullen and Hal Kwu, and the fourth assistant who was in charge of one of the semifinal games on Friday is Aaron Patterson. Had a thriller in the men's championship yesterday. Amherst and Connecticut College going all the way to 7 rounds of penalties as the Mammoths won the program's second national title.
Jeremy, I think we would say about the men's final that defense was the storyline of that contest. Tremendous goalkeeping all around, and the goalkeepers are going to have to be big today as well. You already talked about it. Kirsten Nelson knows she's probably going to see a lot of offense from the Bears.
Maybe something to deal with shortly. William Smith breaks up the play and wins a throw-in.
But Kirsten Nelson certainly up for the task. She is a very experienced goalkeeper, the graduate student. Has been in this program for quite some time, bided her time, played behind Amanda Kessler, who is a familiar name to the Wash U fans in the crowd, who was a goalkeeper at William Smith. Now one of the assistant coaches at Wash U, so all kinds of connections. And, of course, we saw Jim Conlon and Allison Wilbur before the game exchanging hugs, and you know there is so much respect between the two of those coaches.
Kessler was the starting goalkeeper in the 2019 National Championship game. She was named to the All-Tournament team that year, made 60 starts in goal during her Herons career.
I think it's a great start for William Smith. They're getting opportunities, pushing the ball into their attacking third. Marjorie Plants, Mojo, as we saw her listed on the game day roster, getting very involved. She's just an X factor in terms of her ability to do good things all over the field. One of the big senior leaders, the Liberty League Defensive Player of the Year. But she puts up big offensive numbers as well, and she is certainly one that you have to keep your eyes on for the Herons.
Second team All-American as well, and as you suggested, a big part of the attacking game plan with half a dozen goals.
She's already had so many touches on the ball, got involved on the set piece.
Moira Vanderput, who I thought had a tremendous game against Emory, winning a corner kick for the Herons.
I agree. I thought she was so dynamic out on the field, particularly in the second half, helping to generate and create. What she did will not show up in the box score, but she was absolutely tremendous in that second half push by William Smith.
Kaylee Darby taking the corner kick for the Herons. Washi was in control for long stretches of that game against Christopher Newport on Friday. Already a lot of defensive work for the Bears to do.
I think this is a big thing they talked about, is being on the attacking foot early on.
And there's a free header, and it had to be cleared off the line. Connor maybe got a touch in the end. Big chance for William Smith on the set piece.
And it's Mojo, Marjorie Plants, getting involved. Take a look, just separating herself from everyone. There is not a defender anywhere near Marjorie Plants, and she did a nice job making contact and being dangerous, winning another corner.
Connor did indeed have some work to do, and this time makes the clean catch on the follow-up corner. But the Herons, this is how they started the second half against Emory on Friday, coming out of the gate this time with this kind of energy and execution.
And again, I know this is something that Allison Wilbur talked with her team about, that they had to come out, they had to control the ball, they had to try to dictate early on and assert themselves, not let WashU take control and start implementing their game plan. It is hard to keep the ball away from the Bears, but you have to get your opportunities and take advantage of them when you have them.
Good build-up for WashU. Olivia Foster sends it long, but that was one right back by Plants.
And she continues to be so active over on the left side. Has handled a lot of these throws. Really gets a lot of distance on them. That's going to go to WashU, but it is such an asset to have a player that can give you those long attacking throws.
Good header down by Clayton. Maybe a chance here for Ehlert going 1v1 with Ava Brazy. And Brazy, some excellent defense.
Good timing on the tackle by Brazy. But Ehlert is so tenacious, looking for another opportunity. As we talked about, you have to keep your eyes on Grace Ehlert. She's one of the headliners amongst all of the offense that WashU has. 14 goals and an assist on the season. The only player with more is, of course, Olivia Clemens, who we certainly expect to see in about 15 minutes or so.
Ehlert's had the amazing career so far. She scored 5 goals in the NCAA tournament last year in helping guide the Bears to Salem, Virginia. Knocked off Messiah on penalties in the semifinal. But then heartbreak in the championship game. A narrow loss to Cal Lutheran.
Unlucky there for Kaylee Darby. So it was a nice ball by Nell Dwyer, trying to push the ball up the field. And you see quickly WashU looking for Colino and Ehlert.
Jim Conlon told us that he is often asked, when are you going to start Olivia Clemens? The answer is not this season, because you have Clayton and Ehlert and Viskovich and Colino and all the other weapons. And because she continues to excel Clemens in scoring and providing that spark off the bench. If you haven't made the change in getting to the national championship game, I don't think you're going to alter your tactics at this point.
Such creativity from Colino. When she's out on the field, she's helping advance the ball forward, had that beautiful flick. But it is a luxury that Coach Conlon has, because he has all of the returning experienced players. He has been able to allow Olivia Clemens to settle in, to learn the system, to get used to being in college, to being a collegiate student athlete, and she has absolutely put up the numbers no matter what the number of minutes she has had out on the field. Another great defensive stand by William Smith.
It was Ruth Hodling who won the ball back. And the Herons looking to build up a counterattack here, and it's foiled by some good defending from WashU, but Hodling is back on the ball.
She is so technically good with her footwork, and what a brilliant run up the left side by Plants. A nice find by Vanderput.
On for Hodling. Hodling winds up. That shot blocked. It's Jaden Ailing making the play for WashU.
William Smith keeping some good spacing there, but a big defensive play again for the Bears. Over on the right side of the defense, they've been busy because a lot has been going up this left side for the Herons.
Chance for Vanderput. Not able to gain passage around Olivia Foster.
Again, I think this is a really good start for William Smith. They're already settling in. They have the attacking mindset. They're really using the players on that left side to push the ball up the field. I think Hodling has been very involved, which in the first half of the game on Friday, it didn't feel like she had as many touches on the ball.
Attack developing here for the Bears, kept alive nicely by Ehlert. This is Meryl McKenna moving up the right side, and Lexi Hasbrook the recovery, and then draws the foul.
That is a veteran play by Lexi Hasbrook, the experienced graduate student who transferred in from Trinity, maybe small in stature, but Allison Wilbur will tell you that she has a massive heart, so much want to play 6 feet tall, even though that's not exactly what it shows on the roster.
She was part of the post-game press conference on Friday. It seemed like it was still sinking in that she was playing on championship weekend. Trinity always a competitive program, but the NESCAC is so good. Men's and women's soccer has not had a chance to win a conference title, had not had a chance to play at this level until joining the Herons.
Certainly felt like she hadn't. That's another nice play by Lexi Hasbrook, but certainly was a hope that she would be playing in a national final, but when it was finally sinking in that it was going to happen, she just couldn't really believe it. But such an articulate, thoughtful answer by Hasbrook, and so much appreciation that she expressed for Alisanne Wilbur and her William Smith teammates.
Clearance by Brazy. Taken at midfield by Foster. It's a nice ball back up the field, asking more questions of the Heron defense. Hodling just lost her footing there.
And the thing about WashU, they are just so comfortable, no matter if they're possessing the ball for the majority of the game, whether it's back and forth. They're very organized. They understand what they do well. Colino has been very active up top, was really pressuring Nell Dwyer.
Throw-in coming up for WashU here in the 13th minute. Galen Clayton looking for some instructions here. First team All-UAA last season, making her 74th career start here in today's championship game.
Hasbrook has come all the way over now to this side where she's defending.
Looks like she's helped her team win a free kick as well. WashU has been rolling most of the year. The freshmen have obviously been a tremendous addition. They had a lot coming back from the national championship game from last season, 22-0-2. Been a bit of a different story for William Smith this season. They had a tough start, playing a good non-conference schedule, as the Herons normally do. And these being elite academic institutions, we had to go back into Roman history, and Alisanne Wilbur was talking about Caesar crossing the Rubicon, which happened in mid-October. 14 games unbeaten now as they enter the championship.
And it was really interesting talking with Coach Wilbur. People may not know this, that she has her varsity team. She has her developmental team as well. She had 54 student athletes who were trying out for her program. She said it took them a little bit of time to get organized, but they really have progressed extremely far this season and have gotten better and better. Just the chemistry that you see out on the field, big reason why they have made it to championship week and, of course, to this championship final.
Cleaning up in the back there, Connor and Hackett. Two-year partnership has worked really well. And throwing Emma Riley-McGaugh, another seasoned defender. Like we were saying,
great step by Plants.
Just as good as the Bears' offense has been. Don't give up a lot of goals, but they have another set piece to defend. Lots to like from the Herons for the opening 15 minutes of the title game. Here's Ireland Krufcheck.
So that was a different look from Hodling. The short ball on the free kick, they did not get very much from it. And WashU very hungry for the counter with Colino, who is ever present and ever dangerous.
And Dwyer just stabs that back out away from Colino. Meryl McKenna. Leaving it off for Ailing. Hackett under some pressure here from Darby, has to steer that back to Sydney Cotter.
Again, really credit William Smith because they are making things a little more difficult for WashU in terms of connecting on passes and doing what they typically do on the offensive end. Everything contested, nothing easy out on the field. And this is really the gritty, blue-collar, hard-nosed effort that William Smith has relied on in this tournament.
And Coach Wilbur and their team embracing the role of the underdog, especially after getting by Emory in what looked on paper to be a pretty even matchup. Both coaches, Sue Patberg of the Eagles and Coach Wilbur, thought and it was going to be a battle. William Smith prevailing There's no question, Monica, WashU is the favorite here. The pressure is on the Bears as the runner-up, the season they've had being number one in the country for most of the year.
Well, it's certainly true, and I think everyone expected for WashU to get back to this stage, given everything that they had returning and the unbelievable first-year class that Jim Conlon brought in to this program. No one so far this year has found a way to beat them. They have been exactly as advertised, so balanced, so organized, so disciplined.
They've had some defensive work to do here in the first 17 minutes of the match.
But, of course, the other thing you have to understand about WashU is with the reputation they came into the season with, everyone was bringing their best effort against the Bears. So they are not unfamiliar with that, and certainly expected that William Smith was going to come out all fired up. We're going to be on the attacking foot. We're going to be very aggressive defensively. But one thing we know about WashU, they're very good at wearing you down, and that's going to be the question mark. Is William Smith going to have to keep up this defensive effort against all of the offensive weapons that the Bears have on the field and that they can bring off the bench? We did see Allison Wilbur go to her bench a lot on Friday. She has some depth as well. And we'll see how she uses those substitution patterns today to try to match the depth that WashU has.
Cleared back up the pitch by the Bears. Now grabbed in the midfield by Casey Carl. That's an outstanding ball from Carl. McKenna's got some room to run into. Plants closing her down. Still McKenna takes a touch, flicks it back into space, and cleared away there by Anna Nichols.
You cannot defend as a team better than William Smith just did. And they are going to blow the whistle there as Kirsten Nelson being very assertive and very aggressive. But when Plants went down on the ground, other players coming over to help. Beautiful shot there. Or might have been a crossing ball as well, as it was a bit off frame. But regardless, Kirsten Nelson having to come off her line. Really nice aggressive play by William Smith.
We expect Nelson to be called upon today. The 5'11" goalkeeper who's really coming to her own over the last 2 years, according to her head coach. Made the saves necessary against Emory on Friday.
Ehlert has been so important trying to advance the ball up the field, but what we're seeing right now is it's a team defense. It's not just one player. It's not 1v1. When someone from WashU gets the ball, it feels like 2 or 3 defenders is coming at them. And when someone gets beat, there is another player in a green jersey there to pick right up.
Foster spraying that ball forward. Came off of McKenna, who wins it back here. And Hasbrook, excellent defending, is that almost snuck through to Colino. Might still be on here. Viskovich winding up, and Nelson watches that one sail wide.
WashU doing a good job getting everyone involved, different players getting touches on the ball. Even Emma Riley McGaughan had pushed forward at one point. And here's the moment we've been waiting for, Jeremy, with Olivia Clemens coming into the game. I felt like when she came into the contest on Friday, things just shifted into an extra gear for the Bears. The game changed just a bit. We'll see if that same result happens today. William Smith has been defending fantastically. They have been helping when a player gets beat. There's been great coverage. There have not been a lot of gaps to operate in, but we'll see if things open up with Clemens out on the field for the Bears.
That goal that she scored against Christopher Newport, the 21st of her rookie season, the UAA Rookie and Offensive Player of the Year. Not the first sub. That's Kate Martin with the ball right now. She's been on for a couple of minutes. It was Martin who scored that beautiful opening goal, proved to be the match winner in the semifinal. There's the service for Clemens. Nelson off her line. Can William Smith complete the job here? Yes, at least for now.
And Nelson has done a good job, but her plays, a lot of them have not been catching the ball cleanly, but punching it away, and sometimes she's fallen to the ground. So something that William Smith going to have to be aware of, that when she makes these plays, they have to be ready for rebound chances. As you see, this is punched away, and Nelson goes to the ground. And then the question for Wash U, can they try to take advantage if they get additional moments like that?
Throw in for Wash U. Just one official shot so far for the Bears. They've had a lot of attacking pressure, and they have won their first corner kick here.
Really important opportunity here for Viscovich. She is good on these services.
A 7 assists this season, first team all-region.
Really well designed. Lexi Hasbrook knew exactly what they were trying to do. Broke up that play. Lexi Hasbrook has been huge defensively so far for the Herons.
Olivia Foster on the ball at the other end. Sydney Connor. Welcome surprise when Sydney Connor came back for her extra year of eligibility. Has not had too many high save games this season in this tournament as Nelson cuts out that cross. And we certainly know what Connor is capable of.
And I think that WashU is doing a nice job trying to pepper Kirsten Nelson in the air. And it's a good strategy that they want to keep going with. Another nice ball sent inside, forcing Nelson to have to make the play.
A little bit past the midway point of this national title game here in Las Vegas. No score between WashU and William Smith. Only 3 combined shots. Both defenses maintaining control so far.
Another great throw by Marjorie Plants.
That's Martin. Flag is up. Clemens coming back from an offside position there.
But you see how they constantly look to her as the focal point in the center of the field. She does such a good job playing with her back to goal, with defenders on her back. She can turn, create for herself. She can dish the ball to teammates. She just already has such an exceptional IQ.
Great interception there by Galen Clayton. Trying to link up with Ehlert and lost it under some pressure from Dwyer, but it does fall to Kate Martin. Hackett guiding it back to Connor. The Bears with that 3-5-2 system, 3 in the back, but still very comfortable building possession through the defense.
And it really feels like it's been about even so far in the contest, and unlucky there for Olivia Clemens. But in terms of time of possession, WashU has had some moments. William Smith has had some moments. That certainly favors the Herons right now. But again, we know how WashU just breaks you down. They can bide their time. They push the numbers forward.
Marissa Mastracco keeping that one alive for Plants. It's Ehlert getting back, getting involved on the defensive end.
She just does it all. Such a special player is Grace Ehlert. What a tournament she has had. And of course, she has had her adversity this season, dealing with injury, but she is the engine for WashU. And it's not just her work on the field. Jim Conlon told us that her work off the field, how she can talk with her teammates. She knows when she should get involved, when she should stay silent. She is just a tremendous leader and only a junior.
It's one out of the back by Dwyer. Clever little play by Kaylee Darby. Let that one roll through to Vanderput. WashU getting back, getting coverage here.
Great run forward, too, by Vanderput. Just a good understanding of the game. Working well with Darby over on the left side.
Chipped forward for Plants, who's joining in on the play. Plants drives one through, and that is picked off by Connor.
Beautiful attacking run forward by Marjorie Plants. She has had a great first half so far for William Smith. We get another look here. This was just great build by the team. Darby, Vanderput, Marjorie Plants. The three of them over on the left side of the field for William Smith have such good chemistry. They really understand how to play off of each other. They make the right runs. They find their teammates. It has worked very well so far because a lot has been going up the left side for the Herons.
Just the patience, too, as well. Understanding how good this WashU team is defensively. Not rushing the cross, playing a couple of extra passes, waiting for that additional run so that just enough space opens up to get the cross away. Some subs here. And Izzy Thors coming on for William Smith. I believe that's the only change for the Herons, at least at the moment. This is Ehlert holding up play here as several of her teammates make runs all over the field.
Substitution for the Herons.
Just a perfect ball forward to Clayton.
Izzy Thors,
the recovery there, and William Smith gets it out of danger.
You really just can't quantify everything that Grace Ehlert does. It feels like she is all over the field. You mentioned earlier, Jeremy, when she was back defensively getting involved. She works her way into the center. She connects on a pass over to the left sideline. Now she's more central. She covers so much ground. Sometimes it feels like there's two of her out there.
Substitution into the contest.
Sophie Viskovich will not trouble Kirsten Nelson. There is a notable substitution that has just been made by William Smith. Ava Ruppersberger, the two-time All-American, 19 goals and 19 assists in her career, who has had a nightmarish season with some injuries, did not get to play in the semifinal. She has made her first appearance of championship weekend. Allison Wilbur said they're grateful for any amount of time that they can get Ruppersberger on the field. So great to see her here in Las Vegas in the national championship.
She has had to bide her time, really battling her way back. If they get 15 minutes today, I think they're going to be really happy. This is a big moment for Ruppersberger to get to be out in the championship final, and just such an emotional lift for her team to have her out there.
'30th minute of action here on the UNLV campus. Ehlert's ball forward, driven cross, Nelson. Another service for her to have to deal with.
Nice play by Nelson, coming up quickly, putting it into it.
It was Cami Colpitz on the field now for WashU. Scored the third goal for the Bears in the semifinal win.
Ehlert does such a good job, too, not keeping the ball at her feet for too long, but releasing it to a teammate and then getting it right back. She's so active. She's working really well with Clemens.
Now Martin stepping up. Trying to chip that one forward. Maybe looking for Clayton, but William Smith well organized on the defensive end.
Good clearing ball by Hasbrook. And look at that run forward by Izzy Thors.
On the feet of Krufchek in midfield. Into space for Thors to chase after. Foster's got the angle and connects with Colpitz.
And William Smith really likes this left side. Now they have Izzy Thors and all of her speed over on that left side. They have really been testing Olivia Foster, who is an experienced defender, on the right side of the defense for WashU.
Counterattack building through Clements. Space for the cross here. Leaving it back for Ayler. Now Viskovich running onto it and smashes one wide.
That was such a smart play by Olivia Clemens. And there are so many first years that don't do this. The diagonal ball backwards, understanding the angles. She was not going to have a good opportunity, but she knew that Ayler would. And then you have Viskovich pressing forward on cleanup duty. Again, just the intelligence of Olivia Clemens to make that play instead of trying to do something herself with a bad angle. I love what we have seen out of her all year, and particularly this week for WashU.
I'm going to guess that Sophie Viskovich wants another crack at that. She had a little bit more space maybe than she even realized to take a touch and fire at the goal from just a few yards out. 13 minutes left in the opening half here. Sarah Gennady, yet another attacking weapon that Jim Conlon has at his disposal off the bench. She's on the field now. Throw in on the far side for the Herons.
It's been a really good first half, so competitive between these two teams. Both have had good opportunities. Both teams have tested the goalkeepers and the defense. Time of possession fairly even though WashU has had more of it as of late.
What can William Smith create here? Vanderput almost weaseled her way back inside the 18. Cross just stabbed away by Martin.
It was a good clearing ball, though. Was looking for Ayler, who always is working her way to goal.
Clemens trying to navigate a path around her fellow rookie in Dwyer. Get some help from the veteran, does Dwyer. That's Brazy coming up to make the play. Now Mastracco. Trying to work up the right side. That got away from Vanderput.
Nice little run forward, though, by Mastracco, who is such a versatile player. Can play all over the field.
Another change up top for the Bears as Maddie Foley comes in. Certainly Clemens and then Aylert. And then you look at the assist numbers for Viskovich and Clayton. Very impressive, but there is so much more depth to this Bears offense.
Well, that's exactly right. We've talked a lot about it. Colino, when she was on the field, I thought she was absolutely tremendous in terms of her creativity.
And here is Clemens. Outstanding tackle there from Hasbrook.
Hasbrook today has been unbelievable in the tackles that she has made, the clearing balls, and when she has come over and been on the right side and had to very quickly get back over to the left side, she covers so much ground. She's been huge on set-piece defense.
Controlled at midfield by Gennady. One back by Dwyer. Served long by Plants. And there's Emma Riley McGaughan making a potentially tricky bit of defending look pretty easy.
That's what she does. It feels understated because she is so good at it. Such a backbone of the defense is Emma Riley McGaughan.
And she was at the press conference on Friday, I think by Jim Conlon's choice. He wanted a bit more recognition for McGaughan, senior from Atlanta, who has gotten some nice accolades. Honorable mention All UAA this season. She was a first-team All-Conference pick last year. Still, maybe when you look at Clemens and Aylert and Allie Hackett, Sydney Connor, eye-popping statistics, All-American accolades for some of those folks. A little bit of an unsung hero. Here is Maddie Foley. Mishit it when she had a little bit of room to get off the strike from just outside the 18.
Well, and I also think just such a good representative of this team with her personality, her love for this group. It was just absolutely exuded at the press conference. She is so articulate. She really just understands this team and what they've been through as a unit.
They clinched the UAA title without her at the end of the regular season against Rochester. She had gone to New York City interviewing for a job. We could go on and on both of these teams about the med school applications, the job interviews, the jobs they've already locked up, the study abroad opportunities. These are two institutions that truly represent the best of Division III athletics.
And it's really fascinating because you watch the way they play out on the field. It's just such beautiful soccer, such good understanding of the game. But these are athletes that are student athletes at the highest definition of the word. They have so many responsibilities. They don't just focus on soccer. They can't just focus on soccer because the academic responsibilities are so great at their respective institutions. And so you just marvel at what they are able to do both individually and collectively out on the field when you think about everything else they have on their shoulders.
Throw in for William Smith inside of 8 minutes to play in the first half. That's Izzy Thors. Got it inside the 18. That will bring Connor off her line to claim.
I mean, Jeremy, we've heard about people making presentations to NASA and interviewing at medical schools, and only so we almost have an opportunity there.
Takes a lot to stop Clemens. There have been 2 green jerseys pretty close by her almost every time she's gotten the ball.
Well, William Smith definitely understands the scouting report, and they know that they cannot lose number 9 in white. She is so dynamic all over the field, and frankly, you have to try to keep Clemens in check. You have to know where Grace Ayler is because she's all over the field. She doesn't just stay in one area. It's a tough assignment. And then, of course, you have Cami Colpitts, who was a goal scorer on Friday, who's pushing forward on the right side.
Throw in for Wash U now. Shots even at 3 apiece. 2 for William Smith on target, 1 for the Bears. No really difficult saves for either goalkeeper to make thus far.
Which is a credit to the defenses in front of them. I think the defense for both of these two teams has been absolutely outstanding, and perhaps the biggest storyline because teams have had opportunities. They've put together some nice runs. They've pushed some numbers forward, but both teams' defenses so far have been on point.
Replacing number 26, Izzy Thors.
It's Foley. It's Krufcheck winning it back for the Herons. Contested ball right at midfield. It will belong to William Smith.
And so far, Jeremy, it's been a pretty clean game. There haven't been a ton of fouls all over the field, only a couple of set pieces at different moments. But so far, both teams being aggressive, playing for the ball, not committing a lot of chippy fouls. It's been really fun to watch, and just 2 exceptionally well-coached teams. They are so disciplined.
This is Grace Metzler now on the field as her cross blocked out by McGon. Throwing in the attacking third for the Herons. Again, well defended by Wash U. Plants trying the long throw. Does have a chance to cross. That is again smothered by the Bears defense. Clemens looking to turn. Trying to find some space around Hasbrook. And the step comes from Ruppersberger.
Again, great team defense. Hasbrook has done so well, did a good job just getting her foot in there to poke the ball forward. And then Ruppersberger was right there defensively to help.
And had the ball taken away by Kate Martin. It falls to Hasbrook at the other end, under 5 minutes remaining in the opening period.
It's been a fun battle. It's been a lot of Lexi Hasbrook and Olivia Clemens going at each other.
There's Foley back to goal at the edge of the 18. Away by Dwyer, but not completely cleared. Colpitts and Ruppersberger battling. Throw into William Smith.
Again, a very even first half. Neither team has been able to dominate for long stretches of time. Both teams' defenses have been under pressure. Some good attacking runs forward. Everything that you would want in a championship final.
Believe it or not, this is just the second time these two teams have ever played each other. Coach Wilbur and Coach Conlon know each other just from being involved in D3 women's soccer and NCAA tournaments for many, many years. The only time they've squared off in a regular season game was back in 2009 at Johns Hopkins tournament. For what it's worth, then number 8 WashU beat then number 4 William Smith by 2-1. WashU would end up in the national championship game that season. And cross served in by Ehlert, headed away by Hasbrook. Another tackle coming in from the All-American.
Really good composure there by Ruppersberger.
Yep. Aarons did well just to maintain possession. Ruth Hodling trying to launch a counter. Up the line for Metzler. Tackled out by Foster.
Fantastic run forward by Grace Metzler. Only a freshman out of Alexandria, Virginia. Already a goal and an assist on the season. She has tremendous speed over, again, on the left side. So much of the offense going up that left side today for William Smith.
Speed merchants in the rookie class. That is what Coach Wilbur was talking about. And another one of them, Hannah Goodness, has just subbed in. Late stages of the first half here at Peter Johann Memorial Field.
Well, look, the future very bright for both of these two teams. They have fantastic first-year classes that have come in, and again, when you get the experience of playing in Final Four weekend and certainly on the national championship title game stage, it really contributes so much to your development as an athlete, because you know what it's like to play when the stakes are so high against the best of the best in terms of the competition. And you set goals for yourself and standards for yourself that are even higher.
Clemens on the counter as Foley for company, trying to get around Hasbrook and gave her a little nudge. Enough for the foul to be given there by our match referee, Leela Ramash.
And I have to tell you that there's been a lot of good play out on the field today, but I don't think anyone has played better than Lexi Hasbrook. She has been the standout to me out of everyone with the defensive tenacity. She has had a massive responsibility. She has not made a single mistake that I have seen defensively. I could not be more impressed with the 5'1" graduate student.
Final minute of the first half. Stalemate so far with the D3 title on the line. Crazy losing out initially against Gennady. Now Ehlert joins the fray. Throw-in coming up for WashU. Is there one last chance brewing for the Bears here?
More good defense. Hasbrook working so well with Krufchek.
Back up by McGaughan. Ruppersberger not just clears it, not only clears it, I should say, but connects